So, da sollte das Mikrofon aktiviert sein. Hoffe ich mal. Goddammit. Immer hektisch, nie organisiert.
All right, I'm not sure what language you're speaking, my friend, but welcome along to the free practice.
Oh, there we are. Live? Yeah, a little
We are absolutely live, yes.
Nice.
What language was that speaking, mate? Was that a bit of French or I don't know? What was
that was Swiss German.
Swiss German, all right. Well, welcome back. I missed you yesterday. I know you were at work, and welcome everybody. Hello. We are back, of course, for some free practice. The only second free practice that we're going to have because we have a sprint race coming up today. Don't you love it? 2 days of motor racing, of actual races.
I don't know. I still don't know what I'm thinking about the sprint races. I mean, they're cool. It's more racing. On the other hand, the races haven't proven to just stir up like very specific drama for specific drivers, and on the other hand, just don't really do anything towards the grid, really. Like, it's only 100 kilometers, about, well, a few laps, no pit stops, nothing mandatory. It's like, I don't know. I like the thing that we are getting more racing and that we are probably seeing more battles on track. On the other hand, I don't think the sprint in and of itself is very spectacular to watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true. I'm mixed feelings of it as well. And you guys out there, that's something that's actually been put right up on cue there with the poll. Yep. So it's still obviously be a testing period now for the second year, I believe we're doing it. Maybe third year. I can't remember now. You guys will let us know. And of course, they do it. It's an opportunity for some people to get some points, I think, when they wouldn't generally get the full weekend, full race points. But once again, it's up. You guys are letting us know. Once again, welcome along. I know that as you guys are already telling us where you're from, that's another question we like to ask at the top of the hour, don't we, before we start the practice session. I saw somebody was from Venus this time around, so I thought, damn, that must be pretty hot where you are. I thought it gets hot in Australia, but Venus, oof.
Yeah,
it's hotter than Mercury, you know.
Yeah, I feel kind of like I'm on Venus. You will just moderate here and keep people entertained, and I will quickly go and turn on my air conditioning.
You have air conditioning in Switzerland? It's quite amazing. There's a lot of people actually in the UK don't have air conditioning. Of course, I have
air conditioning in Switzerland. You know, I have built myself a commentary booth here. I have built in the air conditioning efficient enough that the waste air gets pulled directly from the computer, so all the heat gets sucked out of the room immediately.
Clever.
And from old cardboard, because I'm poor, I built some air ducts, basically, to neatly spread the air conditioner over my bed and into my commentator booth and everything, so...
So see, this guy's an engineer out there, guys. That's how you do it. You see, engineering it doesn't matter how much money you spend. Right back. It's how you Yep, okay. It doesn't matter how much money you spend. It's how you're creative and what you have, what you got. That's what I love. Well, we should get ready for some practice session to start soon. Thank you very much. Some people from Germany there, South Africa. I'm just having a look at where heat is on here in Australia. Okay, where are you in Australia at the moment? That's right, you are, guys, are in winter, of course, in Australia. Whereas it's hot in the rest of the world. India, Brazil, yeah, early in the morning for you in Brazil just as well. Make sure you make it for the points today. Let's hope so. Goofy. Nicholas Latifi, the GOAT. All right, yes, we all know about Sergio Perez. We'll talk about that one. Somebody from Pluto. Wow. Netherlands, excellent. Indonesia, Mexico, Malaysia, New York City. A lot of Belgium, many of these places that I've lived as well. Some of these. Anyway, we're going to get ready here in the Sound of Music in Austria for our only other practice session that we'll have, because we'll have obviously the sprint race coming up a couple hours after this. And then, of course, the feature race tomorrow on Sunday. 24 laps I'll have for the sprint race. We'll have 60 minutes of this practice session. Whether forecast, well, with the current weather at the moment, it's looking pretty nice. I don't see any chance of rain. Another one of those beautiful days where we should be out probably knocking a few rounds of golf out. We'll be watching some of the cars cruise around this little short track, 10 corners. They say it's 3 to the left, but really it's 2 to the left because you count that kink between turn 1 and turn 3. It's just a kink. They count it as a corner, and it's a slightest angle to the left, probably about 1 or 2 degrees. And the Biggles and Feral's gone to turn his air conditioner on. I'm not quite sure what he's doing.
Yeah,
if
no,
he has
I
to
have
travel
been
to
back
another planet to turn it on. Okay, there
No,
you go.
I've been back for quite some time, but you have
Okay.
moderated that so beautifully and given out so much information that I just didn't want to interrupt you.
Oh, it's all right, mate. You can interrupt anytime you like. So once again, the temperature looks good. How is it for you actually at the moment? You're not too far away there from Austria.
Nah, we're also sunshine, heat, a lot of heat. One of the moments I regret that the air conditioning in my car isn't working. So yeah, that's terrible. But yeah, well, the air conditioning in my commentary booth, that's working well. And
I've seen pictures of your commentary box. It's also posted in the Discord, guys. So if you want to join that and check it out, looks pretty good. I like it. And you got some news, I think, coming up for people too, don't you? For something that may very well be occurring soon here on Racing Statistics. Be able to share with the world?
not yet, as
Not yet.
I really only talked to the secretary, more or less, who referred me to the other stages with the words of, "We don't normally do that, and this isn't actually allowed, but I should further ask at this and this position, because since I am an engineer as well, and I am going to be very transparent with the work I'm doing, they are thinking about doing this." That's all I can say. Or all I want
Okay.
to say, because I don't want to disappoint people if, like,
Yeah, fair
they
enough.
say no.
Are you referring to the meeting or a little bit more than that?
Yeah, no, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm referring to that. Maybe a little bit more. That's gonna
Yeah.
be my
Okay.
secret until I get something videotaped from that. So
All right. I know your secret. It's fine.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Well, we should get
you
ready.
only know where. You don't know what
Yeah, true.
and with
Exactly.
whom.
So, anybody out on track yet? No. Yes, they are.
No,
Both of the
yeah.
Alfa
I
Romeos.
just got said that we get a green light, and the Alfa Romeos are out pretty much instantly. Joe Bottas, first ones on track, followed by Magnussen. So yeah, Joe had quite a scary accident. But it's always like the accidents that are looking the most scary are most likely actually the safest. The longer the accident takes, the longer you are decelerating, and it's never the fall that kills you. It's always the sudden stop at the end. So the
Mhm.
longer you are stopping, the less likely you get hurt.
I suggest if you really want to know about the safety of Formula One, I just watched a video the other day too from the Formula One management. It's a pretty good technical detail about the crash structures of the Formula One cars. The front, the rear, the sides, crash structures, and then of course the cockpit itself and where the padding is on the side. The bit that they put over their shoulders that they lift off, as well as where their knees
Yeah,
are.
with that,
It's a very good video. But if you got about 20 to 30 minutes of your time, I suggest to watch it if you really want to know about the crash structures. As you mentioned, the absorption of the impact is the key. They're showing
exactly.
some videos yesterday of both of the Mercs, of course, having a little bit of an issue, struggling towards the end of the qualifying session there. But
Yeah. I have thought if I should make a little something about that, on like why the downforce is fluctuating so heavily with those new cars. I mean, Verstappen in Silverstone had about what 20-40% of downforce loss on his rear alone, from a little bit of carbon fiber that broke a little bit of his floor. The Mercedes seem to be struggling with that here. So Yeah, I thought about making a little bit of content there to explain how this all works with the airflow and why the floors are so crucial, and especially why the edges of the floor are so incredibly crucial. Are you still there? Am I still here? Can people hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? All right. So then it seems that our Biggles internet kind of cut out or something.
You might have lost me there for a second, my friend. It's all right. Sorry, my
There you're
apologies.
back. Okay.
You just get up and get something to drink and stuff like that. Once it gets really early in the morning for me, just rushed. But I'm here. That's the main
You
thing.
could have told me
You're
that
here?
you're going to get something to drink, then I wouldn't just have been here screaming for you and panic and,
I was testing to see if you were paying attention. That's all. I was just testing, paying attention. The electricity could cut out. I mean, who knows? I have a generator. So we do have about half the cars on track. We have both the Ferraris on track. We have both the Aston Martins, which, obviously a little bit of a disappointing qualifying performance for them. Mind you, we will have spoiler alert, guys. So if you haven't seen the qualifying yesterday, unfortunately, we will be talking about it. So I would check those results. I'm pretty sure everybody here, is being a Formula One enthusiast and supporter and lover, probably would know about the qualifying yesterday.
I do hope so.
Max Verstappen, I believe, comes out. Or Carlos Sainz.
That's definitely Verstappen. There is only one on the car.
That's the one. It will probably, at this rate, it looks like it might remain a one. The way Max keeps putting in the performance this year.
So, by the way,
Super Max out there.
Just found a little piece of information here. The Mercedes, they changed the chassis for Lewis. Of course, a lot of floor and wing repairs there. They apparently had some part changes on the power unit and the gearbox. A lot of work. They've been at that car for about 6 hours now, which is the limit the mechanics are allowed to work on the car off the times. So that's why they are not out yet. They are still working on the car and trying to get their recovery plan into work.
But I thought they had all night, didn't I? But you said they only allowed 6 hours regardless.
It is exactly because there was a lot of things, as I said, with the mechanics basically pulling all night shifts and then have to manage a practice session and don't really get to sleep because they need to prepare the car for another practice session or a sprint race or a qualifying. The FIA has actually put regulations on maximum work time on mechanics. Which is
quite funny too, guys, because you can see a mechanic sitting in the car right now of one of the Mercedes. I'm going, well, I'm like, I've never seen that driver before. Of course, it's just a mechanic testing something, obviously, with the pedals or something. Carlos Sainz goes to the top of the sheets. I thought you were there, Feral. I'm like, you're a mechanic. You're probably like, yeah, thankfully I don't have to work all night fixing these cars.
You have no idea. At my company, night shifts were the absolute best. As I said, sometimes we are working on some DTM cars. Of course, I'm not allowed to say which ones and what we're doing on them, but we're working on some DTM cars and some of the private or little league racers. We do some rallycross cars, and then it's just like when there's the race happening, the car needs to be ready. So we have been working there from 8 in the morning to 3 in the morning the next day regularly. And, well, our boss isn't, like, he is a mechanic, quite skilled, but when you're working on a car in a team, you don't want any other people to join you on that because well, you know what you're doing, you know where you put all the nuts and bolts and screws and everything else. So you don't want to be interfered with. And our boss knows that, so he doesn't come to help to work on the car when you're doing overtime. But what he does is he just goes to the butcher over the road, gets some burgers or some good steaks, some beer, and then he just starts a barbecue out front the workshop. So you get dinner and you get everything else you need. Sometimes he's just starting up a big like projector cinema like screen where we'll be watching some races. So it is actually not really work. Like night shifts are great. You just have a beer, watch some races, work on cars. It's pretty much the Need for Speed feel, or like the Fast and Furious things, where just some friends are in a workshop doing stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. Max Verstappen's on a flyer at the moment. As what looks like somebody runs a little bit wide on turn 3. That's the top of the hill you see on the track map, guys. So on the very first red, the second sector, that's the red top. You can see it just there. It's on the map, track map. Absolutely. I just wanted to say, it looks like, ooh, there it is. Verstappen goes top of the timesheets. I'd expect that. I think he's going to own this track this weekend. He should be basically calling it Sir Verstappen on one of those straightaways. And I'm just looking through the top points at the moment. Supermax to the Minister of Defense there has the top amount of points at the moment in our little internal racing statistics. I'm not actually 100% sure what these points are about, guys, but he has 64,000 of them. Leading that. Like to see that Supermax to the max.
Yeah, that's probably his awareness in the
Both
new
Maxes.
Formula 1 game.
There is an advert for the new Formula 1 game too on the side of the tracks. The Dutch Army's there, and their grandstand. They let off the orange smoke earlier. Of course, they let it off at the start before the session starts, and then at the end as well.
As we all know, Verstappen can't see orange, so if they just completely cover the track in orange smoke, he will be the only driver able to see. And it's not hard to win a race if all the enemies are blind.
We were saying it yesterday, actually, with Mr. Screw that came in, because you're available at work, mate. He was saying, they do that deliberately to blind other drivers.
Yeah, so...
who was it? Leclerc's got a couple of purple mini sectors. That'll be interesting to see. Once again, it's a practice session. There are mediums and softs being used for some of the drivers, as you can see.
Yeah, we also haven't seen a hard, but with quite high temperatures, also track temperature at pretty much exactly 100 degrees Fahrenheit or 37.9 centigrade. I don't think we will see a soft tire really used in the sprint race, as it would degrade too fast. I mean, they brought the 3 softest compounds here, so a medium will actually pretty much suffice.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right on that one, mate. What do you guys think out there in the chat? That's a good one, too. I just noticed that somebody's bringing it up, of course, myself being an Australian. Lou, I'm not pronouncing it correctly, saying only 6 on the first lap. But remember, Daniel Ricciardo was really struggling yesterday in the free practice, and obviously in the qualifying. It wasn't a very good day. It was a good recovery for Lando Norris, of course, considering his car broke down very early in the free practice session. They got that fixed, and he got back out there, but... not the best of days for McLaren, but still, you don't get any points for your qualifying. You get points for your race day. George Russell's warming up out on track. We'll have to see how those Mercedes are going, mate, after they've been patched up a little bit.
Yeah, they got Russell out. So he is on track, and Hamilton apparently needs about 10-15 more minutes until his car is ready, so we should see both of them during this practice session. But interestingly, Vettel and Stroll of the Aston Martins, they seem to have a problem.
It doesn't seem like they're a very good weekend either as well. Yeah. We'll see. I saw a nice quote there before from a friendly bot there. To achieve anything in this game, you must be prepared to dabble in the boundary of disaster. Mr. Sir Serling Moss, that is too, by the way. Missing a sir.
Well done, Russell. back into the pits he goes. So apparently there is still a little bit loose there in the car. And we
That's a
haven't
feeler
seen...
lap, isn't it, mate? As we're looking at somebody
probably.
inside Lewis Hamilton's cockpit, another engineer. I'm seeing more engineers inside those cockpits this evening than I have. The driver, oh, wow, they got a whole, what is that? A floorboard that they're lifting into the garage. I've not seen that before. Have you?
Yes, I have. They are actually... That's how they're made. You basically got the monocoque structure where the driver sits in, and the rest is just attached to that. So there's
So
just
you
like
think they're replacing all of that now?
No, I think that has been the old board, because if it was the new one, we wouldn't get to see it like that. Like they wouldn't show that if that was an up-to-date part.
Fair enough.
So,
all right. That's why I love having you here, because you know what you're talking about. As people say yesterday, think do these casters know that? I mean, I know a little bit about F1, mate, but the tactical, I rely on you guys and Feral for all that. So
yeah, especially not only the technical part, but also the the tactical stuff of like what would you show, what wouldn't you show, what's got to be visible, and what's the things you want to hide. That's always
Alcon's out of the car at the moment. Sorry to cut you off on that one. Just seeing pictures of Esteban Ocon. Both of the Alpines are out. We know that Lewis Hamilton's. Russell's now on an outlap, about to start a flying lap. So
another feeler just going through turn 9 and stays out. So whatever it was, it seems like they have gotten that under control.
Yeah, they got Will, and their Will's just trackside, their wheel box, and of course they're talking about all the jazzes. Wheel boxing becomes your TED really at the end of the day, doesn't it? Come during your practice sessions and get his Will the technical. We haven't seen Benito's hair yet, mate. Isn't that usually what we know as the wind? Because it was quite windy yesterday. Absolutely. It was about 12 meters, 10 meters per second.
It is our wind feeler, that beautiful curly hair of Binotto. So
yeah, we've determined that now. I know we're starting a new trend here at Racing Statistics. Thank you very much for tuning in, everybody. I know in the Americas it's early in the morning. Appreciate that. I know you guys all around Europe. Gasly sets the fastest first sector. George Russell's personal bests. That's very interesting for Gasly.
Here with a quite interesting question for me. What's going to happen with Porsche and Honda? And will Red Bull with Red Bull, will Honda go to AlphaTauri, or both Porsche or Red Bull powertrain? Well, Honda has completely withdrawn from Formula One, as they can't really bring their company policy of zero emission stuff by 2023, I think. They can't get that under the same hat as being in Formula One and producing these engines. That's why Red Bull powertrain generally came to be, as the Red Bull Formula One team just basically bought all the factories and information they had on this engine, and they're producing themselves now. Now the question is, will they keep producing themselves, as their engine is looking quite strong this season? So yeah, there is the interesting thing. Will they keep that engine and give production of it to Porsche, or will Porsche build their own engine and Red Bull will switch again? Or will we see a combination? That is absolutely out there. Like, I can't imagine Red Bull changing, as they are absolutely a championship fighting team with a strong and reliable engine now. So if Porsche comes in, I think they will take over the whole Honda production and just take the engine as is. Of course, AlphaTauri will stay with that as a sister team of Red Bull. So that will probably, most likely, in my opinion, Porsche will take over the Red Bull powertrain, or just start the production of a Red Bull powertrain themselves, and then we will see Porsche engineering in the future on the improvements of that car, on getting it to work with more ethanol-based fuels. I think the FIA or generally motorsports are looking into making fuel from algae, as far as I know. So yeah.
All right, there you go. Thank you very much for that. We just had a little bit of team radio in between there. Charles Leclerc going, what's going on with the Ferrari engine at the moment this year, saying something to his engineers. Lance Stroll's been told to come out there and put a couple of a good banker laps in there. And King Chow, our man. That's the King, sorry. Did I say King?
Yeah, I've seen
King
that.
Chow,
I wanted to address it. He is volunteering
King
again.
Chu. King Chu's volunteering again, mate. Yeah, good to see you again. Thank you very much for the donation. You give so much already for your volunteering and you give so much to the racing channel.
Yeah.
We much appreciate you, my friend. Keep doing what you do best, sharing the love. And so there it is, Verstappen leading both of the Ferraris at the moment on the turn. Gasly put in a really good lap there to squeeze up into P4 just ahead of Lando Norris. Alex Albon, that's good to see the Williams. Daniel Ricciardo, P8, that's a lot better than the performance has been doing this weekend so far. George Russell, P7. We're still yet to see really both the Aston Martins put in any really good, decent time. And yeah, both the Alpines still in the garage. We know Hamilton, they're working on his car. But yeah, that's why the Aston Martins have been told to get out there and to put some laps in. Lance Stroll is out on an out lap. Vettel's in the garage. Plenty of time, of course, to go, guys. We're just about 20 minutes into an hour session, so no need to panic just yet. But this is their last practice session, of course, before the sprint race coming up. Yeah, all the engineers are standing in front of the Mercedes car in the garage, of course. They're not even allow the cameramen to sneak in to show too much of their juicy technology they don't want to share with the rest of the world.
Yeah, probably. What's currently catching my eye? Sorry, I have been not really been listening and looking up what's wrong with the Alpine, as we haven't seen them on track yet. But I didn't really find anything on that yet.
Why don't you
Because,
jump into the garage
that
and
we are
ask him?
not
Let's
seeing-
find out. Mick Schumacher's done something here. Ooh, rear wing, yeah, broken. What does that look like? A little bit of a suspension or that rear? Mick Schumacher's rear left, sorry, is wobbling around like crazy. By the way, did you catch yesterday when they pulled the whole rubber off the between the chicane and the runoff area to the side of the chicane?
No.
There's a
didn't
rubber
catch
strip that came loose. Team radio? Did you get that? I think. Yeah, Russell's saying something to his engineer about the overtake button not working or something.
Yeah, Russell seems a little bit unhappy. It's gonna be interesting if they get the car ready for a sprint and if they're able to perform, or if they will just fall basically out of it. So yeah, as you might know, I am on the side a little bit of preparing for my whole birthday ordeal that's gonna be today.
Your birthday today?
No. It has been
Oh.
my birthday like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Oh.
I told you, but you didn't congratulate me anyways.
I'm sorry. My apologies.
Yeah, no.
How about I give you a late congratulations on your birthday? How about everybody in the chat give you a late congratulations
Yeah,
on your birthday?
absolutely. No, we're actually going sim racing later today.
Oh, you did tell me that. So this is when you're going to do it today. Okay.
Yeah. It is today. I actually wanted to do it on the weekend of my birthday, as there was no race, or I wanted to do it next weekend, as there is no no race. But unfortunately, I got some friends coming over from Germany to join into that sim racing event, like with full motion sim race, where you really feel every bump and accelerations and everything get thrown around in the rig.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm quite looking forward to that. But since my German friends are only here for this weekend, we gotta do it this weekend.
Yeah.
So
Well, please share some pictures in the Discord for that one, mate. That would be fantastic. I think you said you were going to do that.
yeah, I would also if you all would care. The thing is, we are starting the event at 4 p.m. local time, which is exactly when the sprint would start. So if you care for it, I can do some pre-race moderation and show you around the sim racing thing. You would just see me basically hanging out in full Wasteland Apocalypse gear, armored up, and yeah, wearing my pilot's driving outfit. So yeah.
Excellent. No, yeah, for sure. And you find that on the Discord, of course, and the information is in the show more, just underneath this channel, of course, in the YouTube. I was seeing Oscar there in the Alpine pit, in the Alpine team there, just looking at the telemetry. And, you know, and Oscar, we all know Oscar's the Australian lad that's won the F2 championship, and he's eager to get into one of these race seats, and I hope he does next season. We'll wait for the silly season to start kicking in a little bit later on when we see about driver swaps and all that jazz. A little quiet on the track at the moment. We have about half of the field. It's very busy yesterday, mate, on the track for the first practice session. There was about 80% of the drivers on there all practice session long. Seeing some pictures of the Ferrari engineers and teammates and all that, just all really having a bit of a chat about something. There's no rain at the moment, guys, not that I'm seeing. No raindrops or anything. You can see the temperature's probably dropped a little bit and a few clouds coming over. But so far, so good. And once again, please, we'll share that. That would be great, man. I know you're going to miss the sprint race, but that's all right.
Oh, I'm not
missing
gonna
the sprint
miss
race
it.
for a simulator.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna miss it. You know, I'm taking my tablet with me. Yeah, I'm
Are you
actually
going to be
thinking about
watching it while
taking-
you're in the sim?
Yeah, no, I'm actually thinking about taking laptop, tablet, phone, everything with me, so I can basically build a mini version of my commentator booth here,
Nice.
out there. So yeah, I actually still have to prepare some things, so I'm gonna have to step away from my computer now. I'm keeping the headset on, so if there is any questions or something, anything interesting in chat, just read it out to me. It's a wireless headset, so I will be running around my apartment, getting my shit
Oh,
together.
Yeah, no
And
worries.
when there is any
I got you.
questions, just tell me. I
That together.
can exactly. I can just unmute myself and then answer whatever questions are posted there. So
I'll relay it to you. All right, excellent. Yeah, do that
Yep.
for sure. And then see if you can get back in for the remaining, say 5-10 minutes or something like that. It would be fantastic of the practice session.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
basically the idea. So I do my things
Alright.
now, and then I can come back for you know the last bits of it and have a look at did Hamilton come out and how did that work and so on.
All right, excellent. So you heard that out there, guys. So Mr. Ferrer will be doing that. He'll have his headphones on. So if you've got a question for him, of course, or if I don't know what you're asking, of course, technically, I will relay it to him, and he'll be able to answer. Just
Yeah,
so it looked like one of the Ferraris. I couldn't remember. Yeah.
I sound worse now with the other microphone, but that doesn't matter because I sound bad. Anyways,
We can still hear you, mate. We can still hear your beautiful voice. It's fine.
Yeah, it's okay. So if there's any questions, relay them to me. And I have seen a few happy late birthdays in the chat, so thank you all for that. And yeah, remember, don't do the Red Bull things I do because livers are best used in functional states.
Yeah, I saw the picture of your Red Bull in the Discord chat. The
Before
fridge.
I go, as always, I see there's not a lot of likes on the stream yet compared to the viewers we're having. So remember to take your universal remote for the sprint race, sneak outside the house of the like button, watch the sprint race on your phone yourself, and whenever you see the sprint race get excited, use your universal remote to change the channel in the like button's TV.
All right, you like confused me on that one, but I suggest to do it. Okay, there it is, on track at the moment. We do finally have both the Alpines out. Actually, no, we don't. My apologies. Alonso and Ocon still in the pit lane. Wait, no, they are. I'm looking at two different telemetries that are just out of sync. Hey, Feral, I love Red Bull, as well as your favorite flavor was there from Supermax and Ministry of Defense. As asking, what's your favorite flavor? If I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There I am. My favorite flavor of Red Bull. It's hard to say. It depends a little bit on how hot it is. You know, in winter I prefer the coconut blueberry thing. And in summer I'm rather on the side of the watermelon or dragon fruit ones. The one that's
Hmm.
always great is the blueberry. That's just always fitting, but never my favorite. And of course, the originals are always great. The best ones are the one with the green dot at the bottom, as they have some apple flavor to them.
I
How's
didn't even
that
know
up
they were
for you?
available, mate. Only one I can get one flavour. Ocon goes 8 fastest. Been put. He was 6 fastest and then dropped down. I think he eight fastest. You're right. Yep, that's very good for him. Alonso's got a mini purple sector in too. Sorry to cut you off on that one, but yeah, you answered the question. I didn't realise you had all those different flavours, but there it is. There, Mr. Supermax. What's your favourite flavour, Mr. Supermax? Alonso's looking pretty quick here. Now, he usually always is in practice session. Let's have a look where he goes. He's probably going to be definitely around closer to where his teammate Ocon was. Should be crossing the line in a second. We'll see what sort of times he puts up. Right up into P4. There it is for Alonso. So not bad at all for both the Alpine cars that have been sitting in the garage for most of the session already, setting pretty good pace around here for free practice 2. Hello from the Philippines. We did have a Philippine special guest here a couple of races ago, of course. The DHL Commentator Award. And she was fellow Filipino. Will Buxton sitting there outside the garage. Alcon's going around again for a couple of little bit personal best times in the first sector. We'll see. Alonso's gone very quick in that middle sector, sitting another mini purple. That's something we have noticed even in the free practice 1, that the Alpines have a lot of pace in the sector 2. I'm interested to see what sort of time Verstappen's probably starting to turn it up a little bit for a semi-decent lap. Now, mediums, Alonso's on the softs. That's something as well as Ocon. So that might not be a real representative of time on those mediums. As what Feral had said, that most likely these drivers will be on the mediums for the sprint race. And I can't imagine anybody really taking a gamble on the softs. As he said, they are the softest of the Pirelli range of tyres, so they will work quite quickly, and you don't want to be taking a pit stop during the sprint. So Verstappen still on top from Carlos Sainz there. George Russell on a nice competitive P3 at the moment. That's about 2 tenths to 3 tenths off Verstappen's time on the mediums, which isn't too bad considering that they had to fix his car and Hamilton's. You ask you what happened to Hamilton. Hamilton's got a lot more damage on the car. The mechanics are still frantically working in the garage to try to get that car ready. Obviously, I may be ready for the practice session and definitely try to get it ready for the sprint race. And as what Feral has said, due to the regulations from the FIA, they can only spend a maximum, I think he said, how many hours was that? 5 hours or something you said? On the car?
Was
6 hours.
Mechanic were doing. I was actually thinking it is 8 hours they were allowed to work on the car. But apparently it is 6, because if they are still working on Hamilton's car, it would have made sense to go for 8 if they were allowed to do that.
Well, thank you. 6 is out there. Yep, there you guys are saying. Vincent's got that one. I think we got a little bit of radio message from Russell saying, you think his overtake button's working now? He's having a little bit of issue with that. Obviously, I think it is, because if he's 3 tenths down, currently on Max Verstappen's time. What are you guys thinking? Supermax, Max should be topping the timesheets on this one. I think it'll be a great his weekend for him to dominate. We're watching some pictures currently at the moment of Perez, who, as you guys can see, 15th as Perez goes up into P5. So there it is. Once he got a decent lap in, we do know that he has a grid penalty drop. But all you can do is put in the maximum performance, especially here in the Red Bull, keeping all the Red Bull fans happy here in Spielberg. lot of cars on track now. Almost about half the cars on track, as you can see in the track mapper. Welcome along everywhere you are in the world here. Thank you very much for tuning in for the practice session. Remember, we do have the sprint race coming up in a couple of hours after. Speed trap, top speed so far. Very, very quick there from Charles Leclerc. 315 kilometers per hour as the top, and 305 for Gasly and 304 for Russell. So that's a massive difference of 10 kilometers an hour that the Ferrari is faster in the speed trap. However, that's Charles Leclerc, team radio from Russell. I just had no grip, sliding around a lot. There you go. And so that's George Russell saying, well, you got a bit of that grip, Russell, there, because at the moment you're currently provisionally at P3. As Perez goes up in a P3, stills that way. Now you're P4, George Russell. But still about 3/10 away from Max Verstappen's. Alonso's seen a couple of mini purples in P5. He might jump up into P4 if he keeps that pace up. Charles Leclerc's on an out lap. We get to see his pace. Hamilton, once again, is in the pits, guys. They're repairing his car frantically from that damage he suffered yesterday. He suffered a lot more damage than what George Russell did, so they managed to get George Russell's car fixed a little earlier. Kevin is on an outlap, yet to set a competitive time. P2 Alonso. Good call, guys. Thank you very much. I missed that one completely. That's an absolutely fantastic performance for the Alpine. However, they haven't been converting it so much into the points. They have been Alonso's always been, so far this year, I've seen in practice sessions performing fantastically. It's not always turning that way around when it comes to the qualifying. Norris goes up in a P6. To say the best of the rest, I would have to say, with the McLaren, as we do know that we've got the Red Bulls, the Mercedes, and the Ferraris that are really starting to compete heavily in the manufacturers at the top. Then you get, obviously, the McLaren would like to have both the cars in there, but Daniel Ricciardo struggling this weekend at P12. His pace is about 1.4 seconds off. And he's about 1 second off Norris too, which is what he doesn't want to be, and has been, but doesn't want to be. Just reading through the chat at the moment. Thank you very much. See if there's any questions out there. I am joined by Feral. I'm the Biggles. I'm joined by the Feral. He's out. He's just packing up everything, ready to go for his adventure of a racing simulator coming up a little bit later. Ocon set a middle sector, I think. Fastest middle sector. We'll see once he crosses the line where he's going to put his Alpine. Maybe around.
Yeah, also, by
Leclerc
the way,
goes
guys,
P6.
remember to join the Discord, as I will be posting pictures of how we're all in a fully apocalyptic gear in there, driving some full motion sim rigs. So that's going to be quite a fun afternoon for me.
There you go. Excellent. And there was Ocon up into P2. So I did know he had the fastest middle sector. Very impressive there for the Alpine. Once again, it's free practice. They did it on the mediums this time around as well. That's quite good. We're still not seeing any real decent performance coming out of the Aston Martin, Lance Stroll 14 and Vettel 17th. There's the Discord link right there, guys. So please jump in and share it. And obviously, share your thoughts. You can always continue to chat about Formula One, even when we're not streaming the watch-alongs live. And the polls are in. Do you like the sprint weekend format? We have 58% people said yes. 24% no, and the maybes are about 17. So there you go. So a little bit more of the edge there. People liking it more.
Yeah, people seem a little bit on the edge. Like it isn't as cut clear as other surveys we made.
Tesla need to join Formula One. Yeah, unfortunately, they need to be joining more of the Formula E than the Formula One because they're electric-powered vehicles. I wouldn't be surprised if they wouldn't be joining Formula E at some point in the future, but we're on normally aspirated engines here, so they're going to have some cylinders in them. Mick Schumacher is how... oh, sorry.
Correct you. They're not naturally aspirated. They are turbocharged.
Oh, turbocharged. Sorry, yeah, my bad. They have pistons. Put it that way. I guarantee that.
Most likely. Yes, I'm with you there.
All right. That's why I need you, mate, as an engineer to tell me that. All right, Mick Schumacher, let's have a look at his real first competitive time. Goes up into P13 on one of his first soft tyres, but as well, Bottas is now out on a lap. He's on the soft tyres as well, as we've got the cameras actually on him, up to about 200 to 30, 250, 60. Going up into turn 2, that's the top, turn 3, sorry, the top of the hill. On the speed trap, 289. 310 was the top earlier on from Charles Leclerc. But doesn't always necessarily mean the highest speed that you have is going to be competitive, even though Charles Leclerc is on the top of the time sheets. He's just still low away from Max Verstappen. But he did that on the softs. Super Max will not like that. He'll be coming back out, no doubt, soon and wanting to make sure he wants to dominate this weekend, I think, for sure. So even in the practice sessions, he's going to be on the top of the time sheets, even though you don't get points for practice. Ah, casting alone, my friend, takes the breath out of you. Bottas goes up at a P6, so that's pretty impressive for him. Hamilton's still in the pit lane, still fixing his car.
You can save your breath there for a minute, because basically I just want to say why it is important to be on the top of timesheets in practice, even though there is no points, because during practice you are allowed to change your setup and actually measure how good your car performs against the others. And as every track has its own ups and downs, and some are better if you focus on high speeds, others are better if you focus on cornering speeds, and everything in between. You really want to get that set up and top out the timesheets, because that's going to show you in a team effort on how good your car is performing versus the others. So I also see Hamilton there, as I have just walked by. He is in his racing suit. He has helmet on. There is still a lot of mechanics around the car, but I think we will see him out any minute now.
I think so, you're right. I was just about to say that, so you read my mind. I just saw him geared up, ready, and he, I usually have the helmet on unless they're at least a few minutes away from jumping into that car. Most of the mechanics are right at the front of the car, working on that, and that's it. You're right, isn't it? Because basically in a rebuilt car, let's say, from that accident during the qualifying session yesterday, it's a different beast, and so he's got to get out there and he's got to put a couple laps in so they can come back in and tweak it all for the setup. He's jumping in the car right now, guys. So you all wanted to know about Hamilton. He's in the car, and they got to just put a nose on, fixing something at the front of the car. So I'd expect him to be out at least in the next 5 minutes, hopefully. He's got time. Track is busy, but so if he does go out and track, he's going to have a lot of traffic to deal with. There's only Lance Stroll and him. Lewis Hamilton, the only two drivers at the moment not on the track, as it's getting busy, and I'd expect to see a lot of drivers team radio coming in a moment saying he's getting in the way and all that sort of jazz, as they generally do. Of course, team radio. Front wing's going on Lewis Hamilton's car now. They're bolting that on. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys, for the free practice 2 watch along, the last practice session for the weekend. The sprint race coming up in a couple of hours. There you can see the timesheets. Charles Leclerc. We got Verstappen, both of the Alpines, Alonso and Ocon, doing a pretty good time at the moment. They're only 2/10 off as well, the quickest time. However, once again, practice, that's probably heavier fuel loads, mediums and softs. We don't know just yet, but we will probably definitely know in about, I'd have to say, 10 minutes or so from now, when we get to the very end of this free practice session, when you're going to see the race runs. I'd say more than anything, what they're going to be actually doing for that race with the fuel load for the races and the tires that they'll be starting on. That's an interesting thing, because usually they prepare for a qualifying. But in this case, they did that yesterday. Sainz is purple. Sector 1, thank you very much for that. He certainly is. He's on the soft tires, Bob. So that'll be interesting. That could be a setup test for tomorrow if they tend to use those softs. I'm not quite sure if they're going to use them for the sprint race. Here's your track map once again, guys. You can see busy. See what Carlos Sainz's overall time's going to be. Get out the purple sector 1. It's a 30.8 middle sector. Wasn't too bad. Not sure if this is going to put him anywhere near the provisional top, but maybe squeezing in ahead of the Alpines. Hamilton is still in the pit lane, almost ready to go out. Hopefully so we can get about 18 minutes worth of practice in. Carlos Sainz did go up to the top on that one. I thought he didn't have quite enough pace, but he did. That is 50 thousandths of a second just pipped there Charles Leclerc. But once again, I expect Super Max to get in there, put a really good time in, saying once they probably crank the engine up and give him a little bit more horsepower. So if you just tuned in, hello. I'm the Biggles. Feral is got his headset on, packing up some gear. Fastest sector goes to Carlos Sainz for Sector 1, Charles Leclerc Sector 2, and Max Verstappen Sector 3. So Ferrari's taking the first 2 sectors, Max taking the third. Sure, Max is going to be ready to smash all those fastest sectors soon. Gasly goes up into P10 for the AlphaTauri. Lance Stroll up into P10. That's good to see. Aston Martins have been struggling so far. Hamilton's still the pit lane. Should be coming out any minute soon. They are all slow compared to qualifying, mate, because no doubt they're running heavier fuel loads here for trying to tweak the cars better for the sprint race. Once again, why is Hamilton out? Because he's fixing the car from yesterday and almost getting him out on the track. Yes, there it is, mate. How's your packing going? Feral, happy birthday for a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, thank you. It is going quite well. So I got my armor suit together. I got the things together I need to bring a friend for his armor suit, and the third one should be ready in the car, as the friend I'm taking with me is eating my surimi sticks as if they belonged to him, and is taking his track map of Spa. I drew him out, and is making his notes of what corners, what gears. So that's going to be quite competitive there. I made a map for myself where I just marked all the danger points.
You don't know all the corners off by heart of Spa?
Of course I know them by heart. The thing is, my gear, it involves a G-suit from World War II, so I'm an old Mustang G-suit that is basically made to compress your legs, to pump the blood back up into your brain so you can take higher G-forces without going unconscious. And as a G-suit for a pilot, it has a little pocket on the leg where you can put in a map. So I thought instead of just leaving that empty, I took out my pencils, I drew the Spa map by heart, actually, and then just to have it look better, I just marked all the corners, got some danger signs for Radion and Eau Rouge. That goddamn off-bank corner, turn 10, where I tend to go off a lot, mark that one out, mark the bus stop,
no name, isn't it?
the extra flow, and so on. So yeah, it is more like of an accessory to look good.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that. You're going to share some photos in the Discord, of course, guys. So please, slap the Discord button and find out. We will definitely have a look at that. That'll be coming up very, very soon, obviously, in around the sprint race time, as you'd mentioned. Anyway, so not a lot of greens or purples out there at the moment from the drivers, but we're still waiting for Hamilton as they're still frantically trying to get him out. He's in the car, in the garage. He's got 10,000 mechanics around him. Trust me, they're going to do their best to get him out, at least so he can do a couple of lap runs so that they can tweak his car, because it'll be the last chance that they get for the sprint race coming up soon. George Russell's in P7. All right, now Max Verstappen. I expect this. Now Max Verstappen's going to start responding. He's starting to get a couple of mini purple sectors and green sectors in Sector 2. And finally, I think there it is, guys. Lewis Hamilton's now pulled out of their garage and getting it ready. And that's fantastic job for the crew there to fix that car and get it out. We want to see all 20 drivers on the grid at any given time during any races, of course. So that's more cars the merrier, more battles, more fun, more entertainment. So we'll keep an eye on his times. Expect him to do maybe he might do one lap and come back into the garage and tweak something. This will be the time to do it because you've got 13 minutes left. Might commit to it. Max Verstappen time, guys. Keep an eye on the Super Max. I know that he's going to respond to this, even though it's only a practice session. He's going to want to get the top of the timesheets. He's going to want to prove to all the Dutch army, the Orange Army here this evening that turn up from all over Europe to support him, that he wants to be the fastest man in any session here this evening, including winning the race, of course, later on today and tomorrow. So the track is busy, busy, busy. Only Bottas and Alonso are on the pits right now. Everybody else is on track. Welcome along to the last practice session of the weekend. We have just over 10 minutes to go. Hope you're excited for this. I'm actually going to get very excited to see if Max is going to steal this one away from the Ferraris. Can the Ferraris throw a bit of a surprise here? I know it's just a war between the drivers. Once again, it does not matter for points for the practice session, but it will matter for your egos. So Hamilton now should be getting ready. His out lap's done for a flying lap. We'll see if they've got that car all nice and tweaked for him. Whereas Hamilton's got a bit of clear track. A couple of the AlphaTauris up the road from him. As Hamilton climbs up to turn 3, yep, he's about 2/10 off the first sector. Once again, this is the first time he's been out in this car for the practice session. Verstappen's backed off on that one, I think. Maybe recharging his ERS to get ready for a couple of good laps. Maybe finding some space on the track map as well, too, so that they can put a banker in without having to have any traffic coming up the road. Let's have a look at Lewis Hamilton's overall lap time. Can't someone see what his middle sector will be. His middle sector's overdone with doubles. He's going to be crossing the line at the moment. Now 108 is the fastest there from Carlos Sainz. I expect this might be around a... Where does he pop up? P9. That's okay. That's only the first one. He is on the soft tyres, not on the mediums. So I guess that they want to just really see the pace that they can perform out of this Mercedes. You might got to be ready, mate, because I thought you were going to come and join us for about 10 minutes left to qualifying left. 10 minutes of qualifying left. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hamilton gets not once again. That's a pretty good because Hamilton's going to do a couple of laps on this. I'll only be able to do a couple of laps and then recharge the battery because the energy recovery system, you can't just consistently use that for 3 or 4 laps. You need to use that to maximize your flying lap. Where's Lando Norris? Currently he's on track. He's P10 mediums. Not seeing any great fantastic sectors from anybody at this point. Mr. Farrell? Hello? You there?
I will be there any second. Back on.
All right, excellent. No worries. Yeah, get down to the 10 minutes mark. Now the drivers are probably charging their batteries, getting the tyres all warmed up for what essentially becomes a little 5-lapping sprint qualifying practice, let's say.
I think we have seen quite the competitive laps, so now it is time again for all the tire degradation programs. Check the fuel use in the car, how heavy you got to fuel it up or you want to fuel it up for the upcoming 2 race sessions. That's more the relevant things they're doing now. Don't think we will, like, towards any end of any practice session. We won't really see any spectacular runs in the 1 minute 5s or something, 1 minute 4s. We'll more see like 1 minute 6, 7, 8 around that, as the teams are just getting up to touch with all their basically just degradation programs, long run programs, stuff like that. So they really know how long will the tire survive in the race to then get that stuff together accurately.
And we have it. Down to 9 minutes left of the qualifying session. Sorry, practice. I always get that messed up. It's practice session, guys. We had qualifying yesterday. I just treat it almost as a qualifying session because all the cars are out on track trying to maximize the time. Most of them. Verstappen's gone into the pit lane. Alonso and Ocon that had a very good performance here in the practice session of P4, P5 ahead of Perez, who we do know has a penalty. Russell's P7. We know Hamilton is back out on an out lap after fixing his car, so he's only really done about 2 laps so far. That's a P9. Just trying to get that car all tweaked up for the sprint race with literally no practice. And this is it. Nice temperatures, no rain. Don't think there's any rain forecast for the sprint race either.
0% chance rain. But yeah, I am back on my high quality mic.
Excellent.
So there
Welcome
we
on
are.
to the last 8 minutes of qualifying. Sorry, practice. I just tested
Yeah,
so you guys are paying attention.
Yeah. Yeah, sure, you tested them. You just don't know your sessions.
No.
It's because you're always as excited as it would be qualifying.
It's because I'm always casting esports, mate, and I never cast practice sessions. I only cast qualifying in the race when it comes to esports, so that's why I'm just used to that. Sorry.
You've been here enough, so you can't I just cast esports anymore. That card doesn't work.
Hey, I did anymore. GT3s. I did a truck series the other day. I'm all over the place. What's the wind speed? I'm actually not quite sure. Actually,
4.3 kilometers per hour from south.
Yeah, that'll help them up from turn 1 to turn 3. That long straight up there. That's will give you a bit more of a boost. That's why we probably saw 312, 310. I think top speed for Charles Leclerc.
Well, it is 4.3 kilometers per hour, so that's not taking that much influence in the whole being, as the car is going up there with about 250, 300 kilometers per hour easily. So 4.3 more or less doesn't really do a lot there. So yeah, I see Hamilton has come
really, really slow. You're right, guys. Compared to the practice session yesterday, they're not looking super good. But once again,
and the qualifying. I mean, they both made. Did they make Q3?
That's a good question. I was actually asleep, mate, because I was too tired waking up for the practice session yesterday, so I only watched the highlights. And then I was casting for the rest of the day, so I couldn't. You guys can tell us, please, what they did yet for the qualifying yesterday. I mean, that's why we love everybody in racing statistics, mate. They all know their Formula One.
Yeah, I like with work and everything, and getting all the painting them. I didn't really get to watch all those things and get to have a look at it. So I have actually no idea how the grid is looking.
I said both Q3 has both Q3. Sorry, cut you off there.
Both has made it Q3. That is making me happy.
Yeah, that was sweet. Oh, Charles oversteer moment. I think was that on team radio. I think was that yeah, that was turn 10. I think that's the final turn down the bottom of the hill.
No, that was turn 9.
Okay, you're right. Yeah, it's one of the turns that has the Austrian flag on it, and there's 2 of them, turn 9 and turn 10, where you see the flag that's not run off.
There's 3 of them, turn 1. Yeah.
Sorry, I should know this. All right, guys. 5 minutes left. Speed trap now goes to Max Verstappen as 3:15.15. He's in the 3:15 club. And that is the top, sharing that one with his arch rival, of course, the Ferrari of Leclerc. Yeah. And are they bringing Leclerc in the garage? I think they are. Yeah, they are. Pulling Leclerc into the garage right now. With 5 minutes to go. All right, so I'm wondering if Max is in the garage. Is this last minute pull him into the garage and then come out with about, 2 minutes to go and do one flying lap? What do you guys think?
Probably. Like it would make sense. You would still have time to put him out on a flyer. On the other hand, the question is, do they need to put him out again, or are they happy with what they have as a setup? I mean, he's only sitting in P3, but it's less than 2/10 separating them. So probably they will just call it a day.
Oh, to kill those Dutch fans? Let's sold out a couple of grandstands around between turn 6 and turn 7. That's where you see that very heavy bull. And it is a very heavy bull, mate. I was saying that yesterday in the practice session, if you guys even remember how much that. But that Red Bull, obviously that gigantic statue that took about a year and a half to build, 14 meters high and weighs 68 tons. There you go. See, I do know some of my technical research of Formula 1.
Yeah, you just don't know the turns on the track.
Yeah. Oh, I do. Ish.
I can't remember how many times I had to jump in and tell you that it has not been turn 10, but actually turn 9, and that it isn't turn 12, it's actually turn 15, and so on. I don't know how much I had to jump in on that, but it's fine.
Share the love.
Yeah.
I just do it to test you. That's all, guys. I cast thousands and thousands of hours of Formula One. It's just testing. I know exactly. All right, so you got your gear ready. 3 minutes left. Hamilton's out in track. We have some Gasly, Perez, Ocon, Stroll. So both the Aston Martins are out there. They probably need to get a little bit more practice in because Stroll's 11th and Vettel's 13th. Hamilton's got to get as much time as possible, of course. He's out on track because having to fix his car and only really giving him about 10 minutes worth of practice. Sebastian Vettel just goes a little deep, I believe, into team radio. Yeah. That's team radio from saying on turn 10, he might have lost a piece from his car. That's Sebastian Vettel. I don't see anything. Do you see any visible damage?
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I saw some bits of carbon fiber there. It looks like he lost part of the underfloor. No, it was front wing piece, or like one of the winglets there to the of the inlets to the Venturi tunnel. Well, no. It has to be a front wing part because the Venturi parts would have been sucked under the car and wouldn't have been visible from the front.
Oh, there you go. Is there a race today, guys? Yes, there is. Sprint race coming up in a couple hours. And tomorrow, there'll be your regular 100% race. That's what you'll have. No practice sessions or anything. This is the last one. And then, yeah. So you make sure you stick around the next couple of hours to watch the sprint race. And then definitely, of course, the regular race tomorrow. And yeah. So they didn't red flag or anything. So whatever that damage was probably off the racing line, or they didn't deem it to be too dangerous. 1 minute left of qualifying now, guys, and I don't think we're going to see.
It is
Verstappen.
practice, not qualifying, my friend.
Practice. I gotta practice saying. Practice. I will get it right one day. Maybe by around we get to Abu Dhabi, I might get it right.
Yeah, Verstappen has been going back out on the soft once more, so we will see.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Something of
Is
him
he going to get
probably
enough time to cross the line?
It's gonna be close. Saying it's like 50 seconds left, so he is up into turn 3. I guess he will be crossing the line with about 5 seconds to go.
Yeah, this is bragging rights now for sure. This is what he just wants the top of the time sheet here.
It's just the glory run.
Yeah.
Sainz is coming back out on a soft as well, but I don't think that it will be enough for him to start another lap, as it's only 30 seconds to go. So
they know this is a glory run, mate, because they put the camera straight to all the Dutch fans.
Yeah, but also
that are getting into it.
Yeah, I think Sainz and such, like all the late people we've seen going out. So who is there? Ricciardo, Joe, Bottas, Sainz, Norris, Ocon, Leclerc, Tsunoda. I guess they're just going out for getting onto the field for their practice starts. As checkered flag is out. Verstappen didn't make his lap, so
yeah, you're
no glory run there. But probably we will see some practice starts from all of them.
Yeah, you're right. You know, the buy point for the clutches and stuff like that, right? That they configure that they're allowed to do now. Rain in the race?
Exactly.
No, guys, not for today. But tomorrow, we're not 100% sure. So, yeah. That's the qualifying session.
Yeah.
I'm just
got yourself
that's
there.
it. I'm just... anyway, I think here, guys, no rain. Thank you very much for tuning in, of course. So just finishing up now, they'll do their practice starts, of course. This is probably the most crucial time of doing a practice starts because that sprint race is coming up in a little bit of time, as now all the Dutch army in the grandstand let the smoke off again, the orange smoke that they always let off at the start of the session, the end.
Supermax coming out with a great qualifying.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's just trolling you or. So I gotta go, so I'm not too late for the racing event I am attending to. You can do the post moderation and in chat and in the Discord, think of some sort of punishment we can give the Biggles whenever he calls the session out by the wrong name.
Oh,
Because
the
I think
section now,
something-
the corners. All right.
Yeah, now the
Well-
corners. I think we can tolerate the corners as sometimes you really just get a shot of someone drifting wide, and you want to comment on that without checking the map or something back. So
Yeah. All right. Well, if you do that,
that's all good.
Supermax, that's
It's more
leading
like
the points.
if you're there in a practice session, calling it qualifying or something. We need some sort of punishment for you there, just so you get to learn. But yeah, I
I'll
really
let you go.
gotta
Yeah,
go now.
we
Yeah,
gotta go.
because I don't want to be late. But it was great. I could basically push in this little commentating session. I love the community, being around here. So I would have been very sad if I didn't get to chat to you people there and say hello to all of our super chatters out there. So yeah, I gotta go. You do the post moderation.
We're going.
Have
We're
fun,
both going. Yeah.
And
Thank
yeah,
you.
well then, goodbye. And yeah, always before I forget that, go out there, random good deed for a stranger. As always, something. Share the story on Discord, and try to not buy candy for diabetic kids, as I accidentally did once. So yeah, wasn't a
Thank
good
you.
deed. I had to steal candy from a kid again. That was quite tricky. So yeah, see ya.
Thank you. Yep. And don't mix up your qualifying and practice sessions, and remember your corner names as well, I have to say. So thank you very much, guys. Make sure you tune in a little bit later on. If you like this, please click the like button. Of course, subscribe. This is the Discord too, if you want to have a look at Mr. Feral in his full racing outfit and all that for the simulator. He'll be on in a little bit. Of course, watch the sprint race, and we'll have the main feature race tomorrow. And you can hit all the notify me and all that sort of stuff. Thank you very much, everybody, from both of us. Biggles and Feral, we're out. And we'll see you guys a little later on.